Hello, everyone out there. This is breaking news. America's special forces captured by ISIS. Go.
An American disaster, one being kept secret, a botched operation at the Iraqi/Syrian border that represents the kind of intelligence failure easily predicted when allies like Israel, Turkey, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, who all took part in the planning, are deeply invested in an American failure. We begin. A combined U.S. British airborne special operation in remote eastern Syria, at the confluence of the Euphrates River and the border with Iraq, went very wrong and will not be reported. American and British technicians were captured along with Jordanian advisors and 20 survivors of the U.S.-trained new Syrian army which was virtually wiped out during the botched operation. A unit of the U.S.-trained new Syrian army was wiped out on an attack on an ISIS-controlled agricultural airstrip at Al-Bukamal, a short distance from the Iraqi border and the city of Al-Qaim. Our sources at the scene describe the operation, which began with a 2-day-long 200-plus-mile convoy that moved up from the CIA training center at the Syrian-Jordanian border north to attack ISIS. They were joined by American and British Special Operations advisors, U.S. Army Special Forces and British SAS, who parachuted in just before the attack. The attack, at dawn June 30th, began with the new Syrian army seizing the small airport at Bukamal, an agricultural airstrip converted to an ISIS underground command center. This was followed by an American bombing attack across a number of targets in the area. Then the Americans dropped leaflets advising locals to leave the area. ISIS did not leave, not hardly, they were waiting. Before the new Syrian army and their American, British, and Jordanian advisors could consolidate, up to 400 ISIS fighters came out of tunnels that stretch all the way across the border to Al-Qaim in Iraq and quickly mopped up the entire group, taking as many prisoners as possible. Along with the prisoners, ISIS seized the entire convoy of vehicles along with radios and weapons. A deep suspicion is now being accepted at the Pentagon that ISIS has been trained by U.S. and British advisors, rumored to be with L3 Corporation, DynCorp, and others, over not weeks but years, under the guise of putting together a special operations combined force to protect the Gulf states. American trainers were paid $350,000 per year to train a force seen only twice, once during the Benghazi attack and now, as the core cadres of ISIS. There should be no surprise at the things ISIS accomplishes, considering their best were trained to U.S. Army Special Forces standards with tens of millions spent. As to who was politically behind this is another story. None of the funding was American. Not officially anyway. VT knows those who worked on the project and we were not told but had so much money thrown at us that we couldn't easily refuse. Since the first outing for ISIS was the Benghazi attack, with clear overtones of a combined CIA op in coordination, and our sources here are impeccable, with traitorous right-wing pro-Israeli American billionaires, we can now clearly see the treasonous role the CIA is playing in Syria and Iraq and better understand the current waffling of Erdogan and his strong desire to get as far away from this as he can. There is a total information crackdown on this debacle, a major American failure and a huge failure for President Obama. Everyone with information about this has been taken into custody or silenced. This is that serious. Read more at http://
Alright guys, that is the gist of it. Mainstream media is not talking about it. Let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post links in here so you guys can go and check this out for yourselves, and it needs to be spread. We have soldiers that appears to be held hostage, and we need to speak up loud and clear on this and start screaming about it. So I'm asking for help to spread this. Like I said, I put the link in the chat room so you guys can see it and look for yourselves. I think it's pretty disgusting that we have government officials that are turning their back on American soldiers. Our news media people are not saying anything about it. All they're worrying about is a Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. That's more important than what this is right now. This was a major, major screw up on all levels. And I think it's disgusting. Once again, our government is failing our veterans and our active military. We have to scream loud and clear. Spread it. I don't care how you do it. Spread it far, wide, tweet. I don't even know what the hell Twitter is, but whatever it is, just do it. Read the links. It will kick you in the gut when you read the links and the article. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have jumped on here live. So, but yeah, Clovis has been finding a lot of stuff, information. All the hosts, I don't care who you are, you got to get on air and do your part. Spread this. We got soldiers that are in trouble. We don't know if they're alive or not. We don't know. I can't imagine what these families are being told right now. I am so disgusted with our government on what they're doing right now. And I want to give a shout out to Veritas Fox. He's the one that brought this to light. And he did a fabulous job. We need to stand by our veterans, and we need to stand by our active military right now. Go back and listen to that video. They're locking people up to keep them silent. And it's pitiful. It's disgusting. Everybody should be outraged. Not just me, every one of us that has a human heart to be outraged on this damn cover-up and fiasco, worrying about his legacy and worrying about if Hillary Clinton's going to get elected. They dropped the ball on this, and our guys, we don't know. We can only pray. We don't know what has happened to them. And not one damn media is talking about it. Not Fox, not CNN, none of them. And I'm sorry I'm venting, but this has got me pissed off right now. And it should have everybody pissed off. So spread this far and wide. We need to support our military. We need to support these captured soldiers. And this ain't the first time it's happened. We had soldiers taken back in January, we found out, that we were never told about. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling, guys, but man, this has really got me mad. And I hope and pray to God it's got every last one of you guys mad. Before I shut this show down, I will play that video again so everybody can hear. Fox, dude, thank you. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for Fox bringing this up on his channel, none of us would have ever known this. None of us. I'm just so aggravated right now, guys, and I apologize for being aggravated. But after seeing that video, it's totally disgusting. Totally. We have soldiers that are captured, and we don't know what's happening to them. And nobody's talking about it. Not the mainstream, nobody. It was a huge fiasco that went to crap. And they're covering it up like nothing ever happened, just like they did in January. I'm just asking just as human beings, we need to spread this. Everybody shows. Everybody needs to spread this far and wide. I feel so bad right now because I can't imagine what these families are going through tonight. This happened yesterday, June 30th. I will play the video again so you guys can hear it. Um, I'm just aggravated tonight, guys, after seeing that and reading the articles. This is a crying shame that's what's happening. We're in trouble, and we're in big trouble. Our government has turned their back on us. And now we need to stand up and say, you're going to listen, and you're going to listen clear onto what we're saying. This is pitiful. This is a disgrace. And everybody should feel the same way I do. I have links. Clovis has links. There's so much that is starting to come out. And it's a damn shame that it's coming out on the damn internet where majority of the people don't come on the internet. They spend their time in front of the damn TV. I sent links to Fox News on this already. I sent it to CNN. And you know what? I probably wasted my time doing it. But I'm sorry I had to jump on here and ruin your Friday evening on this. But we need to be thinking of these guys. It's a crying shame. I have a son-in-law that's in the military. And it scares the shit out of me every day, me and my wife, on what's going to happen to him. People, please wake up. We're in trouble. We are in big trouble. This is disgusting. Totally disgusting. You know what's sad? We need to make this go viral. If we can't make this go viral, then we ain't worth shit. But we can sit here and make a damn prank go viral. Stupid shit people put up on YouTube, pranks. And them damn things go viral. But this here, you guys know how I feel about this country. I love this country, and I love the people in this country. I love what my grandfather, my great-grandfather fought for. Well, damn it, now it's our turn to stand up. Each and every one of us. I have a wife now on the phone calling, but the only number we get is the local Fox News channel here. Oh, they'll look into it. Look into it, my ass. I will post the links in the bottom of the description box, and I'll post the links again in the chat room so everybody can see it. I'm not fear-mongering people. This ain't a conspiracy. But what I saw tonight has really kicked me in the gut. And this is bad. Brenda, any thought?
Shoo. Well, you're right. It's kicking the gut. I mean, here we are, Independence Day weekend, and we're looking at this, and the government and the media have zipped their lip. They're not going to say anything about it. I think that if it was not clear prior to this, it should be crystal clear at this point that the government is trying to destroy the nation. We have been asked, Russia asked us a few weeks ago to help them fight against ISIS. And our government said, I don't think so. And now look at this. I mean, I can't even imagine those young men that have been captured. These people are notorious for chopping off people's heads. It's just sickening. It's absolutely sickening. I'm going to encourage everyone that watches this video to share it everywhere you know to share it, and if you think of someplace later that you forgot, go back and share it there too. This needs to get out. Everybody needs to have it in front of them. I know there's going to be a certain amount of people that just don't care. They're too busy with picnics and fireworks and all that sort of thing to really care. But if we keep putting it out, if we keep pumping the information, I think people will start to realize that this is serious. This is absolutely serious stuff that's going on here. Our country is going to hell in the handbasket. The government apparently doesn't care that our special forces troops have been captured by ISIS. Pat, they would like to know in the chat room how many people, how many of our troops have been captured. Pat, you're on silence.
Clovis, can you give us the number offhand? Where the hell did she go?
I'm right here. I'm right here. Now, what was the question you asked? I was taking care of a child.
How many have been captured?
Well, a whole convoy of the Libyan army. Oh jeez, it's on. Let me see here. I'll get it for you in just a minute. I do know that. Okay. All right, here we go. As far as I know right now, it says here, a combined of U.S. and British airborne special operations in remote eastern Syria. At the influence of the, okay, I'm trying to get down to, oh my God, 200 plus. And that's the American and British technicians were captured along with Jordanian advisors and 20 survivors of the U.S. trained new Syrian army, which was virtually wiped out during the botched operation. So they're not really giving how many, but it says that their convoy was 3 miles long and 400 fighters, Syrian fighters, came out of the tunnels. So they're not giving us a total quote of who it was. American trainers were paid $350 per year to train a force seen only twice. So it's not giving us a total of who it was, but they are saying that the British and U.S. soldiers have been taken, plus 20 survivors. I'm telling you right now, this is the second time soldiers have been taken. And then in January they were taken. How come we don't have names of these soldiers? How come families aren't screaming out, "Where's my family members?" What is going on here? And now we're not getting anything here. And what scares me the most is it was Ambassador Stevens was murdered just because he knew about some sort of missiles. Okay? And it says here that these planes were taken down by American Sting missiles. And it was Jordanian soldiers that took them down. So what are we doing giving our missiles and trading missiles? And I know people are going to say this and this, but this is going big, guys. I'm telling you right now, if you got 400 ISIS members climbing out of a tunnel, and it says here, before the new Syrian army and their American and British and Jordanian advisors can consolidate, up to 400 fighters came out of the tunnels that stretched all the way across the border of Al-Qam and Iraq, and quickly mopping up the entire group, taking as many prisoners as possible. So we don't really have a number.
We don't have a commander-in-chief. It's just like when Clinton tried to...
So it's like, guys, this is the second time we've had soldiers taken. And like my husband was saying, we don't have a commander-in-chief. We have a man up in there, and this is not good. We haven't heard who them soldiers were back in January, because when he sent me this site, when Pat sent it to me, I started doing some research and noticed that this has happened in January. Now it's happened again because this is an update. The drone Syrian pilot is identified as Norris Hussain. He has been captured and executed by Islam Army. Guys, if they captured any of our men, they're not coming home. We heard nothing of those soldiers in January. I don't see them home. And we're in how many months of the year now? We haven't heard anything on the news. We haven't heard anything about them, names or nothing. What the heck is going on here? That we don't know what's going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you that don't know it, and I've looked at it, and I've searched it, and I watched the movie, and I did some more research. Benghazi, that wasn't about no protest. That was carefully planned out. Why didn't America go over there and get our people and take care of them? Several calls were made out, not just from the ambassador himself, but from a female CIA agent, the head CIA agent there at the annex. The naval force, the people that were there to protect the annex, they were wondering, where is our America? When it came time to transport our soldiers that died in this mess and our ambassador home, it was an Islamic airline, not our own America. Why? It makes you think. Please get this story out. Get this story out, spread it far and wide. Let's make it go viral. We got to do something, people. Our soldiers have fought for us. Our soldiers have kept us safe. And now they're not even being kept safe. They're being sent in harm's way and murdered. We got to do something for our soldiers, guys. We got to. Pat?
I'm going to make it real sweet, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Clovis, for joining me. Brenda, getting this up and running for me, because I was been running around the house doing a honey-do list for the wife. I'm going to play the video again for you guys that haven't seen it, but please, please, listen to the video, share it, get it out there. I thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Here, one more time. Get it up for you guys. Boom, boom, and boom.
An American disaster, one being kept secret, a botched operation at the Iraqi/Syrian border that represents the kind of intelligence failure easily predicted when allies like Israel, Turkey, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, who all took part in the planning, are deeply invested in an American failure. We begin. A combined U.S. British airborne special operation in remote eastern Syria, at the confluence of the Euphrates River and the border with Iraq, went very wrong and will not be reported. American and British technicians were captured along with Jordanian advisors and 20 survivors of the U.S.-trained new Syrian army, which was virtually wiped out during the botched operation. A unit of the U.S.-trained new Syrian army was wiped out on an attack on an ISIS-controlled agricultural airstrip at Al-Bukamal, a short distance from the Iraqi border in the city of Al-Qaim. Our sources at the scene describe the operation, which began with a 2-day-long 200-plus-mile convoy that moved up from the CIA training center at the Syrian-Jordanian border north to attack ISIS. They were joined by American and British Special Operations advisors, U.S. Army Special Forces and British SAS, who parachuted in just before the attack. The attack, at dawn June 30th, began with the new Syrian army seizing the small airport at Bukamal, an agricultural airstrip converted to an ISIS underground command center. This was followed by an American bombing attack across a number of targets in the area. Then the Americans dropped leaflets advising locals to leave the area. ISIS did not leave, not hardly, they were waiting. Before the new Syrian army and their American, British, and Jordanian advisors could consolidate, up to 400 ISIS fighters came out of tunnels that stretch all the way across the border to Al-Qaim in Iraq and quickly mopped up the entire group, taking as many prisoners as possible. Along with the prisoners, ISIS seized the entire convoy of vehicles along with radios and weapons. A deep suspicion is now being accepted at the Pentagon that ISIS has been trained by U.S. and British advisors, rumored to be with L3 Corporation, DynCorp, and others, over not weeks but years, under the guise of putting together a special operations combined force to protect the Gulf states. American trainers were paid $350,000 per year to train a force seen only twice, once during the Benghazi attack and now, as the core cutters of ISIS. There should be no surprise at the things ISIS accomplishes, considering their best were trained to U.S. Army Special Forces standards with tens of millions spent. As to who was politically behind this is another story. None of the funding was American, not officially anyway. BT knows those who worked on the project, and we were not told but had so much money thrown at us that we couldn't easily refuse. Since the first outing for ISIS was the Benghazi attack, with clear overtones of a combined CIA op in coordination, and our sources here are impeccable, with traitorous right-wing pro-Israeli American billionaires, we can now clearly see the treasonous role the CIA is playing in Syria and Iraq, and better understand the current waffling of Erdogan and his strong desire to get as far away from this as he can. There is a total information crackdown on this debacle, a major American failure and a huge failure for President Obama. Everyone with information about this has been taken into custody or silenced. This is that serious. Read more at http://
There you go, guys. Just spread it far and wide. If we find more updates and stuff, I'll share them with you. And, have yourself a good weekend, guys. Keep these guys in your prayers. Thanks. That's it, Brenda.
Okay, we're out.